Junior Men's 8 next. Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. Race 3, Bedford School against the King's School Worcester. To the left of your picture, the King's School Worcester on the Berkshire bank. Let's have a look at this starts there. It's quite a taxing moment in any boat's Henley experience, isn't it? And just having a look there, they've dealt with it really well. That's very impressive, isn't it, on the buck station Bedford School, because they've made that look incredibly easy. But bearing in mind, these are just schoolboys, and on this big stage under this pressure, they've really nailed that.
Yeah, for the voice of Matt Pinson starting there, and yeah, just that moment, wasn't it? It was really, really exciting to watch them go off. The sound of an 8 going off is really, really fantastic, and we watched Bedford get out really fast, and then they've capitalised. King's School Worcester get out really fast, and they've capitalised on that lead now.
So Bedford School on the Bucks station, and the King's School Worcester on the Berkshire station, and a comfortable lead. Does the water become more difficult as more craft on the water as the day progresses? It's relatively quiet at the moment, but inevitably the more time goes on, the more boats we have out on the water, not just the boats competing. Does that become more taxing?
Yeah, I think it's more lively, if you like.
Yeah.
So rather than more difficult, it just feels different when you're rowing along here, and it almost feels different under the shell. So imagine you've got your 8 here, which is a really long, skinny boat, and the water starts to move up and down around it. Different athletes will sort of feel it at different ways at different times, which can, if you are trying to sit the boat as an individual, really upset the balance. If you're able to relax, work as a crew, get your weight on your feet, you will roll over that lively water in a better way, and you can see that there. This King's School Worcester crew is doing that beautifully, and it's really interesting because I think this is going to be the story of this Wednesday in this regatta. This is a new crew who's just formed and not yet raced this year, and they're up against Bedford School, who've only raced once, and that was at the National Schools Regatta. So the preparation has to be in isolation. It'll be on their own training pieces. And to come here to Henley Regatta, to this course, with all the noise, the spectation, the booms, and it's a really big thing. It's quite nervous. I got nervous this morning just seeing the whole thing, and I've been watching it being built.
King's School Worcester just having a few steering dramas and meandering along the course rather than going in the straightest line. But for Bedford School, their serene progress. We're just watching as they head through. So Bedford School in good shape here. Really enjoyable to watch. And so you were talking about practice. I'm really interested in that practice element, and of course it's been disrupted in the last few months and years because of what's been going on with the pandemic. How much of an opportunity will they have had to practice on this particular stretch of water?
Well, interesting, we did the Princess Elizabeth did not have qualifiers, but we did the qualifiers at Dorney this time. That was the first time that's happened, and so this time on the water, the crews only came on here on Monday, but and then they started to practice on here. Obviously things are different for those who know the regatta. They're boating from the other side, and what we need but for the athletes, for these athletes, they will have not raced at the regatta. We've got first Henley regatta for many of these guys, so what they will experience this year will be what Henley is about. Next year, I think they'll see it as a bit different. But you're right, for this Bedford crew, they've had a fantastic first part of the race. You can just see the coxswain there, just checking his steering, making an adjustment there to ensure that he is in the right part of the river, and of course they're dominating.
Well, when you're dominating by this much, I suppose it almost becomes a practice for the next round, doesn't it? Where you can just think about your steering, and you can think about your rhythm, and you can think about the various points along the course. It's another opportunity to practice, which isn't being disrespectful to the opposition at all, the King's School Worcester. But look at that. They've got this so much in command. They might as well try and learn from the experience, and I'm sure they'll be getting some confidence. A polite ripple of applause from the crowd, the stewards' enclosure, and they are heading towards the line now. Good work from this Bedford School boat on the back station in the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup, and the Cox is going to be congratulating his 8 in the next few strokes. Nicely done, really nicely done. Right from Temple Island, right from the top of the race, they look good.
Yes, spot on. They really did manage that start well. They got off and they got themselves into that rhythm. And when we joined the race live, you could see they were going to make it their day today and make sure they got through to tomorrow.
So Bedford School have done that in the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. They'll progress through, and just a good effort from the King's School Worcester, who had their work cut out, over the line now.